everyone. Welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music, and we're going to talk about some different albums we're listening to. Right now, we're going through the Consequence of Sound's top 100 albums of all time. We are on number 74, which is Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks. Fair warning, sometimes we say offensive shit, so there's that. Have fun. We hope you enjoy it. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
And it's a weeknight, and we both have to work tomorrow, and it's a little late, but that's because my travel got messed up. I'm in Colby, Kansas.
Where?
Exactly. We have a couple of wind sites out here, and one of the other engineers hit me up last week and was like, "Hey, I'm going out to this site next week. I think it would be educational for you to come check out another site and meet the engineer for this area, and just get to know everybody and see another site and see what needs to be done and what all that stuff." And I was like, "All right, cool. Well, let me run it by my boss. And if he's cool with it, I'm cool with it." And so here I am in Colby, Kansas. And so my first flight got delayed from San Angelo to Dallas to the point that I missed my connection in Dallas. And so then I got pushed back 2 hours, and we just got to the hotel, and now it's 10 o'clock.
Jesus.
By the way, to get to Colby, Kansas, you fly into Denver and then drive 3 hours east.
No.
Yup.
Oh, man. That is... Wow, you are... Wow.
It's amazing that they have internet here. Like, dude, this is a big, flat part of the state that there's a couple of wind farms out here and cow shit. Yeah, that's all I've seen.
Being like Sarita or something like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Or Mathis.
Yeah, but at least in those places, you're an hour away from like a city. I think the population of Colby is somewhere around 3,000.
Yeah, well, that's Dulce.
But again, drive an hour and you're
not that very far.
Yeah, drive an hour and you're somewhere. Here it's drive 3 hours. It's like being in West Texas all over again.
Oh no!
But at least in San Angelo, it's like 100,000 people, and there's like a city.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I'm up to. What's up with you, man?
Damn, I thought I had a bad day. Holy shit.
I didn't have a bad day. It was just frustrating.
Yeah. I had a pretty good meeting with the school. We're trying some new things to get better at being teachers and stuff like that. So
right.
That was fun, and we got a lot of positive. Well, there's a lot of negative going on at the campus, but we got a lot of positive things said.
Okay.
To us, so that was fun. I did, however, freak out on some kids and cuss them out.
Uh-oh.
And got recorded. So I'm on Instagram for yelling at kids.
Oh. Yeah. Well. Okay, you had a worse day than me.
Well, luckily, my face and none of the school things are in the video.
Oh, okay.
So it's just basically like the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of F-bombs about from me telling these kids that they're fucking idiots, which they are.
Yeah. Well.
So, yeah. So there's that. But beyond that, it's everything's fine. It's fine. They didn't fire me or anything like that, so
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry, Bubba.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, it it happened on Thursday. The video got released on Friday, so we had the whole weekend to like get away from it.
Yeah.
But I've had nothing but very good things from everybody at the school, like all the other teachers, like talking to me. Like I had a couple people call me and text me and just like, "Hey man, like we got your back. Like I know these kids are frustrating. It sucks that they did that, but you know, here are things that we did when we had this situation. Don't
Right.
let them get to you, that kind of stuff. Like we got your back."
Cool.
So that was super cool that like everybody's like super super supportive. You know what I mean?
For sure, dude. That's a really good um, reaction from you know uh, your counterparts.
For sure. And and one of the more senior teachers that are there, she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, I'm okay." She's like, "Well, here, I heard about what happened. Let me tell you this. Your first year of teaching is hard.
Right.
Teaching middle school is hard. Teaching at a Title I school is hard. And you just jumped right in the belly of the beast, man."
How do I reach these kids?
For sure. So she's like, "Look, man, you just dived right in. So the real thing is, it can only get better.
Yeah.
So that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
If you make it through this year, you're good." I
Yeah.
was like, "All right, cool. Thank you, Heis. You're good. You're a good lady."
For sure, dude. That's it's good to hear those encouraging words.
But, yeah.
So that's I'm glad to hear at least your other teachers got your back, you know. So
For sure, for sure. I mean, and that's the beauty of it all. Is like, it's insane that you have to. It's a very different field than what I'm used to.
right.
It's, I mean, there's stress, but like restaurants and kids are same stress level,
Okay.
but it's a lot of. But you can't. You have to use your P's and Q's. You have to be the adult all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when
Yeah.
you lose your shit, like, how about? Anyway, it's just a different animal, and I unfortunately lost my shit. But yeah, but it's cool that everybody has my back, and that's what's cool about where I work is that everybody's super positive and helpful.
Good. Good.
I've got a good team with me, so that makes it easy.
That's that's probably one of the most positive things I can say about my new job too is like, dude, the the network of people for this company, it's one of those things that's like you reach out to somebody and be like, "Hey, I need help with this or I need some direction here," and I haven't run into a single barrier as far as that's concerned of people being like, "Yeah, no problem. Here's what I have. Here's how I think it should go down. Let me help you out whatever way I can. Give me a call if you need it. Blah blah blah." So, and then the network of engineers here is really cool. It's mostly Canadians, to be perfectly honest, because I guess that's where this company went first, was up in Canada. So like the network of engineers is mostly the guys out of Canada that are either still in Canada or have moved down to the States to support the company's growth here. Um, so that's something like the culture here is definitely a huge improvement over really anywhere that I've been. You know what I mean? So
That's awesome. That's awesome, and you know that makes all the difference.
It really
I mean,
does,
for
though,
me,
Brack.
it really does. It makes all the difference if you have people that are willing to help you and do whatever they can to give you their support.
Yeah, dude. The team and the management structure here is like it's the same way. If I if I need help with something, the management people here, like all the way up to the head of U.S. Renewables. Um, I talk to that guy a couple times a month at least. So it's been really cool. My boss is really laid back, so everything's kosher. Like even when I had to stay out at the substation till 4 a.m. making sure turbines came online, my boss was right there with me, like literally sitting right next to me, and we were just getting through it. So having
Fucking
that,
A, man.
yeah, dude, having that support structure is awesome. So I can totally relate to what you're going through with like high stress, but my stress levels are certainly not there because I'm not dealing with kids. But when our whole park gets shut offline, that was a pretty high stress day. So like I can kind of relate to what you're going through.
No, for sure. And I actually talked to the counselor at the school today. Like we talk every now and again, but today she was like, "Man, I don't get why I'm so tired all the time." And that's a thing that I talked to her. I was like, "Well," we were talking. I was like, "Well, here's the thing that this is new for me is that I could work a 12-hour day at a restaurant and be fine."
Yeah.
But the mental stress is so different here. Like it's not physically demanding, but it's very mentally demanding.
For
And that's a
sure.
whole nother animal that I'm not used to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, man. You worked in the restaurant industry for well over a decade. Like, you became acclimated to that type of stress, and this is just something that you're going to have to acclimate to. You know what I mean?
True. There's that. It's just, there's not a lot of physical demanding, but well, I mean, even when I ran the restaurant, it was also mentally demanding too.
100%, yeah.
But it's not at it's that the mental is higher, a lot higher than the physical,
Yeah.
because there's so many wheels and cogs turning, and I have to think about so many things about. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, there was something else. You said something that made me want to talk about something, but I forgot about it.
Hmm.
I don't know. I had one too many beers before you called, so
Yeah, I am stone cold sober. So,
that sucks.
yeah, well, it was just like, man, I drove here from the airport with one of my other engineers, and we stopped at like an Arby's to get something to eat, but I didn't want to be like, hey, can you pull over to that gas station so I can get a 6-pack so I can get fucking drunk tonight?
Real fucked up.
Before we go out to the wind farm at 7 a.m. Because I need to get my drunk on, so I didn't do that. So I don't have the influence tonight, but that's okay. That only has ever made for a worse show, but
you can rein me in. It's fine. I'll drink for you.
Yeah, we'll get through it. So.
But yeah, beyond that, everything's all right, man. Nothing crazy. I'm looking forward to spring break. Holy shit, spring break is a thing that I'm looking forward to now. Holy shit, I need this fucking spring break.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A.
Anyway,
You got any plans?
Man, mostly I'm gonna see the boy
Okay.
for like a weekend.
Yeah.
And hopefully convince his mom that I can give him like another day or two. to go up to Lano and hang out with my aunt. But beyond that, I just need to. I'm gonna get my teaching certification done.
Okay.
I have my I have my certification for science,
Right.
for like my composite science, so I can teach any science. It's just the teaching part of it that I need to do.
Yeah. Okay.
But just basically get that knocked out, and then oh, also I've been cutting down. There's a mesquite tree in my backyard that is kind of fucking up my fence,
Okay.
and so I've been cutting that down, and yeah, that's been a fuckaroo. 'Cause
Okay.
it's a tall one, and it needed to be cut down a long time ago, but it's breaking one of the brace boards, and about uh like from one post to the other, it's gonna break that whole brace board down if I don't cut it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it started cracking the support beam,
Right. Right.
and so I'm cutting all of it down. But the problem is, this is about a 10, 15-year-old tree.
Uh-huh.
So all the limbs are growing up, and it's stretching up real hard up into the electricity wires.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to be real careful about all that. So I've been cutting it down, but the problem is I don't have the space for all the limbs.
Okay.
So today I cut down about 3 or 4 big limbs, and I've just been throwing them in the middle of the yard, and I let my chickens out. They've been running around all day, and I look outside, and my chickens are roosting in the middle of the pile of the mesquite limbs. They're just chilling there, which breaks my heart, because I just cleaned out their coop and put new bedding in there, and they're like, nah, fuck it, we're just gonna stay in these limbs. Which made me think that they used to call them yard birds, right?
Sure.
When I drive up north to go take the boy back, I always see signs for yard eggs.
Okay.
Yard eggs, 4 for a dozen or whatever, $4 for a dozen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're talking about chicken, free range chickens that lay eggs, and it's $4 for a dozen. So it got me thinking. I was like, oh, that's why they call them yard birds, because they just run around the yard and do whatever the fuck.
Right.
And I was like, oh fuck, Eric Clapton had a band named the Yardbirds.
The Yardbirds. Yeah.
Is that not fucking so they were a bunch of chickens?
I guess, dude. I don't know. I guess.
I don't know.
We'll get to it when we get to it, I guess.
I guess. I don't even know if the Yardbirds are on here. But...
No, probably not. But we could we could
not.
venture off the list at some point and do a Yardbirds episode.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with that body of his work, so.
I just know of the term Yardbirds, and I know Eric Clapton was in a group called the Yardbirds. So
Yeah, I think so. I think that was Clapton.
I think it was. I think it was one of the early ones.
I'm gonna.
Before Derek and the Dom, or maybe before or after Derek and the Dominator.
Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Anyway.
Nope. No. The Yardbirds are an English rock band formed in London in 1963. Keith Relf, Jim McCarty, Chris Drasia, Paul Samuel Smith. Oh, they've had you know what? Yeah, they've had rotating. Rotating members. So I'm looking at more of it, and it's Clapton, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, have all been members, but not necessarily at the same time.
Yeah, they were kind of a rotating group.
Yeah,
I knew for damn sure. Because
I
was in there.
I was thinking, you said it, and I was thinking, well, I thought that was a Zeppelin thing, but Clapton also sounds right, and it's because okay, so it's just rotated out. Yeah, I'm not familiar with their work. I'm
not either. I just knew Clapton and the Yardbirds were a thing.
I bet if we looked up a bunch of songs, we'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was the Yardbirds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I always just thought that was so and so. Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, so yeah, so you want to get into Blood on the Tracks?
sure. Let's get into Bob Dylan.
All right, Bob Dylan, the first one. So, Blood on the Tracks was released in January 1975, or January 20th, 1975. He was the sole producer on this album.
Okay.
Um, I didn't. There's a man. There are websites on websites on websites about Bob Dylan and all his music and things like that. But from what I kind of pieced together from why this album was created was because it was a recent divorce, but he would say differently. Like he wrote this album, and this album came off a bunch of different albums that didn't do very hot.
Okay.
But
That kind of makes sense.
yeah. So this is his brooding kind of thing where he put his dick on the table and put his heart on the stage kind of thing.
Okay.
So they say there's a lot of evidence that it stems from his divorce, but he says differently. But it kind of is about his divorce.
Okay. Yeah.
And it
the
and if you like kind of listen to the album, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in there in this album. It's all because this whole album kind of just talks about like relationships and how they're different or estranged or messed up or leaving somebody or whatever, or how they left them and how they'd like to see them go, that kind of thing. Like it's this textured idea of relationships throughout the entire album.
yeah, it's a common theme.
I mean, almost every song is about a man and a woman having a relationship.
Pretty much,
and how
yeah.
it either goes well or bad or whatever it may be.
Right.
Just the dynamics of that relationship throughout its longevity.
Okay. I can see that. So, how how familiar with Bob Dylan are you, and what's kind of your what are your feelings about the guy?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I am very, very green to Bob Dylan. I didn't listen to a lot of his stuff.
Okay.
From just kind of a surface level, I didn't like him because his voice and he just kind of rambled on.
Right.
For me, like on the surface level. After listening to this album, I have more of an appreciation for him.
Huh. Okay.
I really do. I think he's a really good writer. I think he's a good artist.
Okay.
I think he's a good artist. But I do have my qualms.
Yeah. 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 I'm pretty green to Bob Dylan as well. So that wasn't a question. I didn't ask that question in like, how much do you know? Because I know a lot. Because I don't. I don't know shit about Bob Dylan.
No. That is a probing question for sure. I understand.
Yeah, I didn't know much about Bob Dylan outside of like what you hear on the, what you just would hear in passing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the subterranean, homesick, whatever.
Yeah. And so I wasn't really sure. And after listening to this album, this is our second really big singer-songwriter, with Paul Simon being a recent one that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess we've done some other singer-songwriters too, but
Elliot.
Yeah, but I mean, like these are two massive names. You know what I mean?
Well, Neil Young too.
Neil Young too. Man, Bob Dylan's not for me. This album anyway. Um,
I am so glad you said that.
I thought I was gonna like this more than I did.
I, man, I. It was either one thing or another with him. I didn't like if I like this. I don't know, man. I like all the pieces for me to like this guy are there. They just didn't quite connect for me to like him.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yep, it really does. That's a very well put together thought about that. Like, man, first of all, I don't like his voice. That's
You can't. Well, you can't do anything about that.
I know,
You know what I mean?
but
And
there,
for me, okay, go ahead.
I don't know. It's like Neil Young has a unique voice that can be grating. But I think that he tames his voice with his music very well in a way that Bob Dylan doesn't. I think Bob Dylan, at least with a lot of the songs in this album, a couple in particular that we'll get to, I think he's almost antagonistic with how annoying his fucking voice is. Like he emphasizes how shitty his ability to say words are. Like the drawl that he has on some of his words, just I'm like, have you ever heard that word spoken before? It's not how it's pronounced.
And that's the thing one thing that I feel like he forces words and enunciations to fit. But I mean, for fuck's sakes, like you have a 9-minute song where you just ramble on about this and this and that, and you're trying to force this word to fit that word.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At one point,
go ahead.
For instance, at one point he one song. Hold on, I'll get my notes. In "Shelter from the Storm," he talks about the crocodiles going up and getting fed into the corn or something like that.
Right.
So where the fuck? Oh, first off, where the fuck do crocodiles and corn meet up?
Right.
Geographically, that doesn't work.
No, man, I don't know. It's just like,
and
don't get me wrong. There's some good here, and I think he is a talented singer-songwriter, but I don't like the poetry that is his lyrics or the lack thereof. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, for sure.
And I don't. I don't know. I just
a couple.
think his performance vocally. I think there's a way to tame a voice, and I don't think he does it well. At least not in this album. Maybe we'll see something different in some of his other work, but this is not the one for me. I much more enjoyed Paul Simon and Neil Young.
Okay, and I agree that they had better voices, but I do like what he says more. And I don't think that words. I think Bob Dylan has a voice. He has a very fun voice when appropriate. Like for Meet Me in the Morning.
Yeah.
That his voice works very well for that song.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he has a voice. It's just he has his voice, and I think he wants to do a lot of things
right
that his voice can handle.
maybe that's it. Yeah.
Does
Yep.
that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I,
So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being with trying to do more than outside of your scope, but he tries and he does well
you're right. You're right.
for all the things.
He's a
And
talented man. I'll give him that. Just not just not my bag.
and I honestly agree. This album itself, like the sound isn't my favorite, but listening to it, it kind of grew on me.
Okay.
I wouldn't this is not an album that I would continually go back to,
Right.
but I think he is very interesting in a lot of ways. He's very interesting in his writing. He's very interesting in his music. Like he has a lot he's got a lot to offer as far as musical talent and how he plays with things, and in his writing that it's very different kind of Charles Bukowski sort of everything's kind of askewed and things like that.
Sure.
And I kind
Okay.
of want to and I kind of want to get into like three different songs
All right. Let's do it.
in particular. Okay. Well, the first one I want to get into is Tangled Up in Blue.
Okay.
Um, for the most part, what Dylan wrote about this song is that it took 10 years to live and 2 years to write.
Okay.
This song, I did this. So when I looked at this song, I looked at it from two different ways. I looked at it as listening to the song, and then I kind of dissected what is really going on here.
Okay.
And so what I've kind of deciphered. So what do you think "Tangled Up in Blue" means?
Oh, okay. I mean, Blue is a woman, right?
Well, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it could be anything. Like, because at the end of every verse of this song, he says "Tangled
Tangled
Up
Up
in
in
Blue."
Blue. Yeah, this song is a good song. It was a good way to start the album, and I think it's a highlight of the album.
Yeah.
Um, but he's talking about um, I don't know. He's talking about different women and stuff, and so I guess the
I don't think
Tangled Up in
it's
Blue
not.
is I don't know. I guess it's getting. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just blue. Tangled Up in Blue is just like kind of the like getting. It's being in a. It's just being in that kind of situation, down on your luck kind of situation, or maybe in what could be bad relationships, or could be getting tangled up with these different women's lives, different relationships and stuff. I don't really know. I'm not that deep.
Well, so for me, this song, it's about one woman.
Okay.
And so when he uses this phrase "tangled up in blue," I couldn't. It took me a minute to realize, like, why are they tangled up in blue? Because in this song, what he does here is he mixes up timelines
Yeah.
of meeting this one woman.
Okay.
So for me, I oh man, there's a whole. I've got the fucking red rope on the board, and I'm putting string from fucking one person to one tab to one person. So for me, there are three different times that he talks about.
Right.
There's a present. There's the past where he meets her,
Uh-huh.
Now, there's the present where he actually is living in.
Okay.
Like, we are in 2020 right now.
Right.
That's the present. The first past is where he met, is how he got to meet her. The second past is what their relationship was like and how it ended.
Okay.
So he's writing this story, and he's like thinking of her at the very beginning. He's thinking of her. Like, I woke up and a blah blah blah, and I thought of this woman, and I thought her hair was still red or whatever it was.
Right.
And then that's what starts, and he goes back to the start of their relationship. And then at the end of the first verse, he's talking about the path that led him to meet her.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Oh, this is so textured. So the first part was the beginnings. Is that how they began their life? How he began remembering her, how they began their life, and how he began remembering her.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. The second verse is the quick summary of their life. It's kind of the overture. They met and lived, they broke up, and there might be a reunion.
Got it.
Okay. So they did their thing, they broke up, and then the reunion, oh, I'll see you somewhere, blah, 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 down the avenue, tangled up in blue. The third one is is what I called the lament.
Okay.
So he has an unfulfilling life post breakup.
Yeah, and he's not willing to let her go.
Well, in that one, he talks about the shitty jobs he had, the past, like the shitty job. I worked in the place or whatever, and then the past was close behind. Like I worked at a Louisiana place, and the axe just fell and all that kind of shit. So he's talking about how he got to meet her. And then the fourth one is sex, because that's the one where he met her at a titty bar.
Yeah.
And whatnot, and and the whole thing there was the big fucking part of this is she asked me something, and she stopped to tie my shoe. She tie the shoelaces of my shoe. Something along the lines of, she bent down to tie the shoelaces of my shoe.
Right.
That's a blowjob, right?
Probably.
Like, he's at a titty bar and she just bent down to tie his shoes. Yeah, no, she sucked his dick.
Yeah.
She sucked his dick. And moving on to the next part, we go what I call it is Into the Abyss.
Okay.
And then she brings up a poem from the 13th century, and that's Dante's Inferno. He's talking about Dante from Dante's Inferno. And so now, from here, I feel like he is chasing after her. He has to go through hell to do it, but it's a path of bad choices.
Right.
So he's like Dante chasing Beatrice through into the belly of the beast, if you will.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Anyway, the next one, they talk about slaves and shit, and I think that's about heroin. Like, I lived with this couple in Montague, and they dealed into selling slaves.
Yeah.
I think that has to do with like heroin. Like, they were slinging drugs.
Gotta get that crack rock.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Something fucked up. Yeah.
Something fucked up. Like, they were fucking with drugs, and then he had to get the fuck out. And then we go to the last one, and that's now views of what happened in the past. He's looking at like different perceptions about this and this and that, and then thinking of going to find her.
Right.
Yeah, and then he even mentions like people that I met back in the day. Some are lawyers, politicians, and some of them are carpenters' wives.
Right.
And it's funny that he mentions carpenters' wives because that's a Chaucer. That's one of the Chaucer Canterbury Tales stories. The Carpenter's Wife, and it's about two guys who want to fuck the carpenter's wife, and then they get there's a whole in the Miller's Tale.
Huh. Okay.
It's about a cheating wife, and then two dudes want to fuck her, but then they both get fucked around, and anyway.
Alrighty then.
Anyway.
I'm not
So,
familiar. Sorry. I don't know.
yeah, look, man, this is this dude is deep, and this is kind of me going into reading into what he's actually doing.
I feel you. Yeah,
That's kind of why I like him, because he's very, very deep and well read.
that
You know what I mean?
makes sense why it's not my bag.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in the long story short, what I kind of figured, what I kind of through the idea is that what is tangled up in blue is that this girl had red hair, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he
So,
mentions that.
Is her hair still red, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what I thought is, why is he tangled up in blue? It's her eyes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because normally, like 9 times out of 10, red-haired people have blue eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just him being stuck on someone, and then talking about the what he's currently feeling, what happened at the beginning of the relationship, and what happened through the course of their relationship.
Okay.
But it has this fun. He does this fun thing where he mixes all of these timelines together to make a story.
Yeah, I just thought the music here is good. The rhythms are fun. Hey man, I'm a much simpler man philosophically, and
No, and that's fine. You know, I get it, and it's
this song sounds good.
it sounds really good. And then there's all my crazy fucking could have wrote my fucking thesis on this bullshit.
Well, write your thesis on it. I mean, it is what it is. You know, like it's a good sounding song. I think it's a good way to lead into the album.
It is.
It's got a fun.
It really is.
It's got a fun rhythm, and it's a jam. So yeah.
It's jam for sure.
Yeah.
And it got me stuck for a while because I think this is one of the better songs on the album.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought.
What are some of your other what are your highlights?
Another highlight I had was "You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go."
Okay.
What
was that?
You know, that's a good question. I had, like I said before we hit record, I fucking misplaced my note sheet for this. And I don't remember. I had some stuff written down, but I believe this is, well, most of his stuff really is acoustic, right? But this is this slows it down. This
It does.
and
It's
this
more like it has more of a finger picking kind of feel to it.
it does, and I like that in a slow song, and I think this is a good use of his voice. I don't think it's so grating here. I think it's there's a lot of good emotion in this one. You know, and it's you know, the things are good, and you know, you there's a lot to love in you, and you know, I could stay with you forever, but um, but you're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Like, uh,
And that's it's fun to think that, or it's not fun, but
it's not fun, but
it's fatalistic in itself.
it is, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have a lot of fun with you. I like you, and love goes hot, love goes cold, that kind of stuff. But you're gonna make me lonesome when you go.
Yeah, and
So
I liked the
you know,
direction he went with with this musically. I thought it was appropriate, and I thought it was written well. Um, and I just think this song had good structure. It had good rhythm. It had good lyrics, and this is one of the places where I don't mind his voice.
for sure. No, that was it's a really good song.
It
It
is.
really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So, I just want to talk about. I want to talk about two more songs,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to talk about Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts.
All right.
This song, it's fun.
It is.
I like, I like it. It's really fucking long.
Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes or some stupid shit.
It's
But,
dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, but and here's where I feel like he does a good job and a bad job at the same time.
Yeah, this song would have been great for me if it had ended at about 4 minutes.
If he didn't say the Jack of Hearts literally at every line,
That
literally every verse, he had to say Jack of Hearts.
that didn't bother me so much. We're sensing a theme here, tangled up in blue again.
Yeah,
It didn't bother me so much that he ended every verse with the Jack of Hearts. It bothered me that there was, still counting, 15 goddamn verses. And that this song was 9 minutes long. Cut it in half, or cut it down to about 4 verses, and I would have been great.
yeah, for sure. I mean, man, I like the idea of what he's doing, but he just went on and on and on.
Yeah, he didn't know when to call it quits.
Yeah,
but
the real thing is that here's the thing that I like about this song. He talks about the Jack of Hearts at all times.
Right.
So, was this person real, or was he a spirit of something? Was he like a roguish spirit?
I'm
Was
thinking
he like a real human?
I don't know if this is a real human, or if this is more of like an archetype. A character that we see in different people.
Well, I'm thinking of more of like something that would, like a demon that possesses people, like the Jack of Hearts possesses this person.
Okay.
To do these things.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I guess I could see that too.
So like Lily, who did this, and Rosemary, who shot her fucking husband, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. Yeah, I guess I can see that. I kind of viewed it as more of the just a certain character that you see, repeated through history or whatever. But yeah, it was a fun song, and there is actually some interesting wordplay in here, and yeah, it was cool. Just too.
Yeah,
just too long.
Yeah, for sure. It's very long. But I just, that was a question that I could never feel like listening to it at least 10, 12 times. I could never get straight if this was an actual person or if this was a spirit of somebody. It was just like low-key possessing someone and doing these things, or is this an actual human being?
I'm not sure, and I'm not sure he wants you to define it. It might be one of those things to be like, interpret this as you will, kind of thing.
And I think that's kind of his. That's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
it's your own interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Are these three songs that we're discussing? Are these your top threes?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
No. These are just interesting songs the songs that I thought were interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
That made me think, and I just want to discuss because I found them interesting.
Yeah.
They're
I
not
was
my
just.
favorite exactly, but
Uh,
just things that I don't know.
okay.
I liked his. These are ones that piqued my interest as far as storytelling and writing and things like that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Just
All right. Well, what's
look.
number three?
Oh, my third one.
Yeah. What's the third interesting? Or did you have more that you wanted to talk about, Jack of
No, no,
Hearts?
no, no. I only have one more to talk about.
No,
It's
I didn't know.
Shelter
Okay.
from.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. The last one is Shelter from the Storm.
Okay.
So for me, when I listen to this song, I mean, there's heavy Jesus overtones,
Yeah.
like heavy Jesus overtones.
Yeah, for sure.
But from what I've read, is that everyone thought that it was Saint Mary that was sheltering him from the storm.
Okay.
But from the counterpoint I want to make is that I think it's actually Mary Magdalene,
Oh. Okay.
because at the last point he talks about like near the end he talks about something about I tried my something along the line. I tried my temptation, but I was turned away. So I feel like he's talking about Jesus going through like all of the, you know, all of the Jesus' life.
Sure.
But,
Okay.
and then he tries to like fuck Mary Magdalene, and she's like, "No, you're too good. I'm gonna turn you away because you're better than this." Is that I don't know.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I didn't read that deeply into it, but I did get the Jesus overtones for sure.
Yeah, there's heavy. I mean, it's heavy Jesus.
It's pretty hard
Crown
to
of
it's pretty hard
Thorns
to
and all that,
miss.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the only thing, my dissent is that I don't think it's like Mother Mary. I think it's
Right.
Mary Magdalene.
Okay.
I think it's the whore at Babylon.
Yeah. All right.
That I don't know. That's my only.
Yeah.
Thought in
I
that.
can
Yeah.
see where you're going with there. Um.
Beyond that, let's see, Bob. What's all right? So you want to get into top threes?
Sure. Let's talk some top threes. What's your number three?
My number 3 is "Shelter from the Storm."
Okay. Respectable.
It's super pretty song.
It really is though, Brack. It really
It's a
is.
super pretty song.
I mean,
I think this is he does so well at like being melodious, and I don't know. It's a beautiful song.
yeah. I know I bitched a little bit at the beginning about this not being my bag, but like I said, there are some definite highlights here. And yeah, I agree. I think that's a very pretty song. So that's totally respectable.
All right, what's your number 3?
Probably You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go.
Oh yeah,
Similar reasons. I thought it was a pretty song.
it is.
And I just thought it flowed well, and I don't know, stuck with me a little bit for reasons I can't remember because I don't have my notes with me.
Your fucking notes are gone.
Dude, I don't know what happened to them. I wrote them about a week ago and they've just since disappeared. The notebook that I usually write notes in, I can't find it, so I don't know what happened to it. But I've traveled twice since I wrote notes for this, so it got lost somewhere in there.
Yeah. I get it.
All right, what's number 2 for you?
So, for me, it's "Meet Me in the Morning."
Okay. All right.
I love, man, when he does blues well, he does blues very well.
This is a very classic acoustic blues song. It's great.
Really?
It's great. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure I've heard this before, but this follows the classic blues stylings for acoustic
Oh, I
blues.
thought you meant this song is like a classic blues song.
It probably is, but this is a good blues song. So,
Mm-hmm. No, man.
um, but so yeah,
It
I
hit me.
totally
It hit
get
me
it.
in all the right ways.
Totally get it.
Yeah. Alright,
Um,
what's your number two? Or
my number two is probably gonna be probably "Tangled Up in Blue." It's a really good song.
Tangle Up in Blue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Why?
The reasons we discussed when we were talking about the song, about why it's so interesting to you. Not necessarily such the philosophical deep, but just
not for all the not for all the things, but yeah.
But I mean, for
Got it.
some of those things, yeah. But also, I just thought it was a well-written song, and I thought the music was really nice. And I think it flows well. I think it's got good rhythm, good beat. Like I said, it gets you into a good mood for this album. It's good being up right up front, and is a good song. I think it's well placed. I think it's well done. It's a good song.
For sure.
So before we want to get into number ones, do you have any lowlights?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I just don't have the things in front of me.
I can give you the worst song on the album.
Oh, go ahead.
Idiot Wind.
Idiot Wind, man. Honestly, that was almost my number 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a fuck you breakup song, of course.
Yeah, okay, I get that. I was hoping it wasn't. I was really hoping it wasn't going to be your number one, and I would just completely insult you. But no, this song's terrible. It's fucking awful. Everything about what I don't like about his voice is this song, and
Is
it also
this song, yeah.
and also this song is too long.
It is too long.
The first.
Idiot Wind.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, the fun thing about Idiot Wind is that he's at the end he's talking about a person,
Yeah.
for the most part, and then at the end he's a we were this. So this is a fuck you breakup song, but he's also putting himself. He's also saying like I'm also a part of the reason we're fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the worst song on this fucking album.
So the thing is with this song, the first time you hear the chorus, it's great, and then everything else about this song, including every other time you hear the chorus, and every time the song gets played again, it's fucking awful. This song is the music's not good. This is where I got I think he's being antagonistic with how annoying his voice is, and I think he's doing it on purpose. And I get that, I get what he's going for, but I don't think it's executed well.
For sure.
Because he
just goes on. He just goes on.
He doesn't know how to let it the fuck go, and also, he's admitting that he's part of the problem, but he can't even say the word idiot.
Idiot, babe.
Yeah, it's he sounds fucking retarded. This is awful.
With a hard R for sure.
This is an awful song. So I'm sorry that it's your number 4, but this is terrible.
No, I like it. I only like it because it's a fuck you breakup song.
I get that. I totally do.
No, I think the worst song, my P song, is "You're a Big Girl Now."
Oh, that's another terrible song.
Because he's so fucking reductive.
Yeah.
It's a fuck you breakup song, but like, he's so like catty and jaded and.
Yeah, this dude doesn't handle negative feelings very well.
Yeah, this was totally not about his divorce. Totally not about his divorce.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit about his divorce.
Yeah. So. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, this is yeah. So I don't know.
No, totally not about his divorce. But you're an idiot, babe.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like the first time I heard Idiot Wind, I was like, "Oh, this is funny," and then it didn't stop. And then every time it came on after that, I was just mad.
This is 9 minutes long? What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Why is this
Like,
9 minutes long?
So yeah, so after like the second or third time hearing this song, I was like, and skip, and skip, and skip.
Hey, Jimmy, is it cool to do 12 verses? Hey, Jimmy says it's cool.
Okay, so we gotta do 15
Let's
instead.
do 15.
Yeah.
Is 15 okay?
Yeah.
Jimmy says it's cool. All right, we make it happen.
Yeah. So I don't know. Most of my problems with Bob Dylan are probably in those two songs. But yeah. And then there's some other stuff that's kind of meh. If you see her
There's
say
a lot
hello
of
is
meh.
kind of meh.
That's meh. I mean, even Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts that's meh at best.
Yeah, it's a okay song. So I don't know.
It just went on for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted that Dave Chappelle skit where, like, the wrap it up the box to come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wrap it up, wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You know.
So
And then Buckets of Rain, you could just not had Buckets of Rain. That's
I don't even remember that song.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's probably been a week since I listened to this, but I listened to it like 6 times, and I don't even fucking remember that song. So anyway, let's get back to positives. What's your number one, bub?
All right, so my number one is Tangled Up in Blue.
Okay. All right.
I fucking drank the fucking. They didn't drink Kool-Aid. What did they drink? They drank Powerade or Flavorade. Anyway,
Fago.
also been listening. Yo, you know what? Fuck it. I drank the Fago because I'm a juggalo. I got the face paint on and shit. Yeah. No, I drank the Fago. I think that's a new thing. I drank the Fago.
So yeah,
I'll be a juggalo. Yeah. No, man. This song got me, and I liked how he played with time, and like, for me, it made me think of past relationships, and like, when I think of past relationships, like, it's not always like there's not always the good things. It's always a mixture of good, bad, and kind of mediocre things all together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like this is just him like going through a time, and then this is what happened, what I felt at that time. So I thought it was really neat that he did that he played with those timelines and kind of blended them all into different into his words and things like that.
For sure. This was a good song. I mean, it was my number 2, right? So, like, I think we're on the same page there.
For sure. All right. So what's your number 1, buddy?
I mean, it's "Meet Me in the Morning." Duh.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah. it's the bluesiest song on this.
I knew.
Bluesiest song on this album. Duh. I mean, like you said, when he does blues good, he does blues good.
He does blues real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a great fucking song.
It is a fucking great song.
So this is the song of the album for me.
Yeah.
And
I highly agree.
And it's just it's got everything you want in a good acoustic blues song. So
for sure. I mean, it does it well. It's got that old stomp and smash kind of feel, and it
yeah, it does. And I think if you're a fan of the blues, you're going to enjoy this particular song. So, and I am, and this is the Bob Dylan I wanted to hear going into this album. So, I got it in this song. So that's pretty obviously why it's, this is the Bob Dylan I wanted, and this is the only song in the album that's really the Bob Dylan I wanted.
Heard.
So.
All right, so on a scale of Pavement to Yellow Brick Road, where would you throw this album in?
Yeah, so I'm looking at my list or the Facebook post, and
Oh, I actually wrote it down so I can look at mine now.
I just pulled it up on
Okay.
Facebook. Um,
Mm.
let's see. This is hmm. I'm gonna put it somewhere around uh, refused.
Yeah, what is that?
Somewhere a little bit better than Imagine. Um, but I enjoyed like all right. So Refused is between Imagine and The Clash for me.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
kind of near the top of my bottom half.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, so like I enjoyed a collection of things that are immediately above it are The Clash, The Who, Siamese Dream, Wish You Were Here. It's not as good as
Okay.
those albums, but I liked it better than like Downward Spiral or Imagine or the the Straight Outta Compton stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Bubba?
Yeah.
On a scale of Pavement to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, where is this for you?
For me, I'm gonna put it under. I'm gonna put it between. Hmm. I'm gonna put it between Downward Spiral and Kill 'Em All.
Okay.
This is a very low album for me.
Yeah, that's around the same spot that I'm at.
Yeah, about 90, between
95,
96 and
96.
95.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about one step higher, 93, 94.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't. I mean, where he goes with his writing is fine, but this album didn't speak to me. I don't think it's a good album, but it doesn't do a lot for me.
yeah, that's kind
I
of why it
think.
lands in the Imagine kind of range for me.
Yeah, for sure. Like I just good intention. Just I don't know.
Yeah,
It was a very meddling album.
for sure,
Again,
for sure.
like I said, whatever he did, one song I liked, but he could never put it all together for me
Yeah, yeah,
to make it a good album.
yeah. I'm right there with you. Um, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
There's some definite good here, but there's some definite garbage here too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Imagine had Cripple Inside, so
Yeah,
there's that.
yeah. So
So
yeah,
you got
so
a leg up on that.
yeah, I think it does, but just only just.
Only just, yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
so so anyway, guys, that's Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. Um, let us know what you thought about it, um, and we can have a discussion for sure. It didn't knock it out of the park for us on this one, but I have a feeling, I have a distinct feeling that we're gonna have some really good episodes coming up, or because let's face it, we have a couple of really good albums coming.
yes, we do. The next one is Blood, Sugar, Sex, and
No,
Magic.
sir. The next one is Kid A.
What? Oh,
73 is
it's
Kid
Kid
A,
A?
and
Oh,
72 is
shit.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Oh, fuck. I forgot Kid A was first. Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh, Kid A. Oh, man. I'm gonna. Ooh.
yeah, Kid A is a great album.
Oh, be
Not
ready, guys.
not to
Shane's gonna fanboy again.
not to spoil anything, but Shane's about to fanboy hard, and then as soon as he's done fanboying hard, we get some some Blood Sugar Sex Magic going, and I get to fanboy hard.
Yeah, we get some good funk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a good fucking concept album,
Oh man,
and then we get some funk.
it's
Yo, it's
speaking of
Mark.
funk. Speaking of funk, did you? I posted on Facebook on the Sad Pandas page a band called Newspeak.
Yes,
Did you give that a listen?
I did. Did you listen to the one that I sent you, the Pants Off Dance Off?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Yeah, Newspeak is really fun.
Dude, they are.
I love them.
So I was driving from Hobbs, New Mexico to Austin, Texas on Friday, and I just had the Spotify like Discover Weekly playlist playing, and
Yeah.
they came up, and I was like, "Holy fuck, dude! These guys got something." So,
You got the goods.
oh man, so what I did was just listen to all of it because they don't have much.
Isn't it all?
They don't have much, like, or at least they don't have much on Spotify. But they've got like I don't know 6-8 songs on Spotify
Yeah.
or at least that shuffled for their artist page for me. So maybe there's more, and I just didn't get that deep into it because my drive ended. But I listened to like the 6-8 songs that were available on Spotify for these guys, and they're all great. I think one of them's a cover. But but I'll leave you with this. They have a song called Dolphin. And if you don't want to make love to your partner to that song, then I don't think we can be friends. Because that song, it's such good baby making music, dude. It's so good. Especially like right there at the end. It's fucking perfect. So I may have to do another post with that one, but
Well,
yeah, it's so good.
I do have to give a shout out to a band that fuck it. If we're talking about music, fuck it, let's talk about music. There is a band called Bear Ghost
Okay.
that is phenomenally good.
Yeah.
They are really fucking good. They're real fun to listen to. I think one night I was sitting on the back porch and I follow Megarand, and they opened for Megarand, and I caught them. And they're like kind of like Thank You Scientists. They have a big horn section and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And they played Prince Ali.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking
That's awesome.
Ali,
Yeah.
fabulously all the above. And they were fucking phenomenal. But they're fucking phenomenal. Bear Ghost is fucking really good.
I just
talked about-
just found them on Spotify and hit the follow button, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Also, not yesterday, but Monday. Monday we had like a teacher meeting. So my vice principal for the 8th grade, he's a older man, and he had a long lecture for all of us about what we need to be doing and things like that. And while he was speaking, I was like, man, I know he's talked to me a number of times, and like it finally dawned on me what his voice sounded like. He fucking sounds like Bill Withers.
Okay.
like because I've listened to like a lot of like live Bill Withers.
Right.
And so cut to like the next day, I see Dr. Johnson out, and I was like, hey, Doc, has anybody told you sound like Bill Withers? He looks at me because, he's an older black man.
Did he pull his glasses down and say, "I am Bill Withers"?
Oh, if only he was. If only he was, man. If only he was. But he looks at me and goes, Shane, that's the best compliment I've ever had in my life. I was like, for real? He's like, yes. If only I was Bill Withers, I'd be all right.
That's awesome.
I was like, hell yeah, man. So, yeah, good dude.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about some Bill Withers sometime too, because that man's phenomenal.
Oh man, we're gonna have to do an album for Bill. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, check out Michael, Mikel, Michael. The album is called Zelda and Chill.
Okay.
It's just, it's lo-fi beats of Zelda songs. So like the fairy fountains, but it's like a, uh, yeah, it's like a slow rap. It's a slow beat.
Okay. I'll
Yeah, man. That's what I do, dude. Honestly, that's I put that on in my classroom, and that's all that happens all day. Like I'll
nice.
put my phone on the fucking speaker, and that's what happens all day.
Nice.
Is Zelda and Chill. Yeah, it's a good one.
Fucking A, man.
That's so like when Dave, like if you, I don't know if you've been on Twitch.
Oh,
Dave starts it up.
not in ages, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Dave started playing it, and like before he like starts up his Twitch.
Yeah,
And it's like the fairy fountain, like the fairy fountain, like doo
for sure.
doo 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 doo, you know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it's like doo 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 doo.
It's just it's yeah, I gotcha. It's slightly rearranged and uh
It's just slow and chill.
gotcha.
If Lovage did the fairy fountain song,
Right.
that would be it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check it out for sure. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just came across it. I don't get to discover new bands that I'm that excited about very often. Like I think the last time it happened was Thank You Scientist. So like don't get me wrong, there's been some stuff that we've come across on this list and like other stuff that we've done that I haven't been super familiar with, but like I don't know, that band just got me just super amped up. Like I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna listen to all these songs like 3 times in a row. Like
No, for sure. There's also a dude named Ken Ashcorp.
okay.
He does I think he only has like 4 or 5 songs that I know of, and one of them is called Rival. Man, that is a bad. Ken Ashcorp is really good.
Fucking A. Fucking A, man.
For sure.
Well, I know we kind of veered off, but you have anything else to say about Bob Dylan?
He won a Pulitzer.
Oh, great. Fun. I don't care.
Yeah, there, yeah. This is if. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine.
There's better Dylan out there, I'm sure. We haven't gotten there yet. I don't know if we will. I don't even know if there's more Dylan on this list, but
There is.
there?
There's. I think there's 2 more.
oh really?
There's one in like the There's one in like the 30s, and there's one in like the teens or 20s.
Damn. Okay, so somebody at the staff at this magazine has a super hard on for Bob Dylan then,
Well, I mean, same thing with like Michael Jackson
and the
We're gonna
Beatles.
have more of him.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, all the Beatles are fucking. Anyway, we'll get to those when we get to those.
For sure.
But I didn't realize Kid A was next.
It is.
Fuck yes, well.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I'm very much looking forward to refamiliarizing myself with that album because it's
And then not only that, but that's another band that's we won't see them till I think we'll see Kid A here, and then we see them at like number 8
oh really?
with the OK Computer. Mhm.
Oh okay yeah, okay, Computer's good too.
Yeah. So yay, Radiohead.
Yeah, man, like fucking we'll talk about Radiohead when we get to Radiohead. I'll save it. So
Anyway.
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway, that's I think that's all we got. So guys, thanks for listening. Look us up on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher are the 3 big ones, I think, and then wherever your podcaster gets podcasts, can find us, sadpandapresents.com. Hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/sadpandapresentspodcast, I think is the thing. It's, as Dave of Tadpog would say, it's cucumbersome. I know. Hit us up there. That's where we'll interact with you, and that's where if you want to make a suggestion, then when we get past the next few albums, at another 10 spot, we might insert it there. We'll see. Depends on our schedule. That's what I got. Anything else, Shane?
No, sir.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Okay, bye.